Hello, gamers. It looks like the bugs have already taken 2 worlds from humanity, and if all this intel is correct, then they're gunning to take quite a lot more. We're not exactly ready to take that on at level 3, so we're going to run a few errands, make some cash, and then we're going to visit some of the modded factions on this side of the sector and see what they've got to offer. Who knows if vanilla equipment is really up to the task? I hear the hivers are exceptional in a few ways. But maybe some modded ships can be up to the scratch. Oh, good. Okay, so they're not actually that close to the jump point. It says that they are, but they're not. Let's see, Pirate Base. I'm not sure these are ever really worth it. It's always something like 70 to 90k, but the difficulty of taking on a station is usually more than the difficulty of taking on a similar priced bounty fleet. I guess you could make a faction really happy now that they're not being raided by pirates, so maybe that's the real reward. And if you're really clever, you can raid the station before blowing it up. Although I'm pretty sure that reduces the loot that it drops after the fact. So is it really that clever? Debatable. Yeah, so that's the Knights of Lud. Green and white by the looks of it. Let's see what kind of cosmic horrors we run out to in here. There's things like void creatures and space whales. And void whales and space creatures. If we're really unlucky, we might even run into a mind goblin. I just can't stop thinking about that one D&D clip that I've seen, where the DM has like a fairy or something. I'm not really sure of the context, but I assume it's some kind of fey nonsense where, you know, they steal your name from you, but instead of stealing your name, the fey queen steals his best joke. And so he's like, well, you know, it could have been much worse. I thought she was going to turn me into a mind goblin. And his friend, who always falls for those jokes, is like, what the heck is a mind goblin, Gricko? It's a psionic. Oh, come on, Gricko. You can't just bring up the idea of a mind goblin and then not articulate what you're talking about. Oh, is that what Glorbo was? Was Glorbo a mind goblin? Is that why he looked like that? And the goblin Gricko just starts crying because he can't tell the mind goblin joke. Truly, one of the most creative interpretations of that whole bit. Let's see. We're looking for Lost Atropolis orbiting a barren world. Gotcha. So rocky, unstable, barren, and barren. So we'll path this way. Might even survey these moons because they look pretty small, which means that the cost is going to be relatively cheap. Might be worth it. Ooh, what have we got here? Oh, it's a Cerberus. Nothing too exciting. False alarm, don't get too excited. I mean, it could have had a level 7 officer. That'd be weird if he was piloting the Cerberus and frozen in there, but it is possible. So yeah, I'm going to say it's not this one. And no, I'm not spending 50 supplies to survey a rock. As tempting as that is. What exactly are you? Well, you're hostile. Looking at your fleet composition, I really don't think you can take me. In fact, I'd like to see you try. Oh, it's probably scavengers that think they can take me. It's one of those things, right? I'm gonna grab this nebula. Oh, I guess I don't get to... Well, if you're going to emergency burn, sure. Yeah, it's scavengers that think they have a chance. Danger level 4. Get real. I've got omens. I've got officers. What have you got? You've got a drover. That's a bad matchup for you, my friend. 4% extra difficulty. Let's go. Yeah, I think this is strongly favored for me to win. Let's just spam some annihilators. Surely some of them will hit. They did. That's unfortunate. Alright. Yeah, I mean, this buffalo's just gonna... Well, he's gonna try and get close enough to explode on me, by the looks of it. Yeah, these machine guns are not going to do a very good job stopping salamanders, unfortunately. But they don't really need to, because the enemy's not that threatening at this point. See what you got. Yeah, the two of you can tag team that Shrike. Easy peasy. And what's left? Of vigilance. Even on a good day, a vigilance is not taking on another frigate in one-to-one combat. It's really more of a support ship. So this is over. Well, that was an interesting maneuver, flying straight into the pylons. I'm pretty sure a Tempest is fast enough to just not do that. You could have gone in any other direction. But I guess it is one way to flex on your opponent, to fly straight into all their missiles and then kill them anyways. Yeah, that's a lot of supply ships that we can destroy and loot. Thanks for the donation. Appreciate it. Oh, scavengers, you silly guys. That's the wrong button. That's the thing that checks mods. That's V versus C. Well, I guess I'm going to commit to avoiding industry entirely. And instead, make things a little more challenging for myself. I do have a few frigates now, so Wolfpack Tactics is not crazy. It doesn't help in frigate-on-frigate combat, but and as soon as they field destroyers or cruisers, it's going to make a big difference. Although coordinated maneuvers is probably better at this stage. It's just this right now is going to give us 19% extra top speed, and that's pretty big. 19% across the entire fleet. I mean, we're already faster than most ships in the game, so this is really going to let us outmaneuver them. That, or I could dive further into combat, but I don't know exactly what I'm going to pilot yet. So yeah, I'm going to go with coordinated maneuvers. Okay. No need to rush the top tier skills. I mean, cybernetic augmentation gets a lot better once you've actually got some combat skills. Best of the best. Well, we're not exactly building in tons of S-mods right now, so we don't need to rush that. And the combat skills at the top, we don't really need to rush either. We're not in a hurry. Oh, so there's a couple I can pick up. I can pick up this Shrike. I could even recover this Shrike. And I do like Shrikes, but I don't think I want one right now. I'll take the loot. Okay, let's drop that, and let's get going. Let's get a little preliminary survey. So it's either going to be... They're investigating me. Are you sure about that? Because, I didn't even put on, like, a fake mustache and glasses. I didn't really do anything. I don't know what you have to investigate. It should be clear as mud that I am the same guy that just fought you. Clear as mud. Well, that covers that. And then we've got this bounty. It looks a little more difficult, but the only real ships are this thing. Some Diablo Avionics ships with plasma burn. Looks like a cruiser. Then we've got the Colossus Mark III, which is not very threatening. And then we get down to Buffalo Mark II, some mud skippers, a hound, a kite, and there might be some other ships of lesser significance. If it's less significant than a kite, a hound, and a mud skipper, then I don't think I have to be afraid of it. Oh, let's see. Promotion candidate. That would be really useful if you weren't timid. Like, even if you were cautious, I could at least mentor you. And then when you get to max level, I could retrain you. But I'm not going to sit with I'm not going to buy you at timid and then retrain you to mentor you to cautious and then have to deal with that until you reach max level. I'm just not going to do that. You are getting passed over for promotion. Of course, the real reason I'm passing him over is nepotism. He's not a family member, so he's not getting anywhere in this company. All right. It says yellow star in this constellation. This is the only yellow star, so that should be pretty simple. What's the planet? Frozen. Let's get out of here. Yeah, you're not fooling me. I know what you're up to. Sensor ghosts. I've seen a few of those things in my day. You can tell the difference by their difference. If you just look for the and spot the difference, you'll notice how different they are. There's just a certain vibe to it, you know? Ah, yes. Just what I needed. 835 ore. Yes, please. I'll just ignore everything else. Well, we're probably not going to carry that. Fullerene spool is one of the better items, for sure. Absolutely. Actually, I can still carry around most of this metal. Just what I needed. Let's freaking go. B-Series Fortress. This is some VIC nonsense. Yeah, I'm not going to read all of that right now. Basic mod spec, and that. Cool. Alright, let's go for round 2. Getting a Fullerene spool that easily is pretty good, though. 30% accessibility is hard to match. Definitely one of the better bonuses, and it's a pretty generic bonus that you can use on most planets. Alright, let's learn all this technography. And let's get going. So, yeah, I guess it was a good idea to stop here, because I haven't even found the bounty yet, and I'm already getting plenty of loot. I wonder if this solar system is still forming. Because this kind of gas, this kind of like dust ring would make sense in like a young solar system. I highly doubt some planet got torn apart and turned into a ring, so that would be a better explanation. Or maybe it just has a really dense No, I think it's called an accretion disk. I think that's what those are in Star Sector. I think they're meant to be an accretion disk, because it looks a lot like the one around a black hole. Yes, hello. 5%. I guess that means you're 1% more challenging than the last one, eh? Well, if you knew what happened to the last guy, I don't think you'd be so enthusiastic. But let's give it a go. Oh, it looks like that's double typhoons. Not much else going on, but it does have plasma burn and double typhoons. I think I'm going to be a little bit cautious around that. I'm also seeing a lot of talons. Not too scary, but... yes. I really should get some... I really should either get the point defense skill, or I should get some Vulcans. Okay, somehow we shot down... We couldn't shoot down a salamander, but we shot down a Reaper. Classic. Alright, you can get more aggressive. Just gonna fire off a bunch of annihilators so you can get some damage on. Not really. We hit them a little bit. Yes, please take care of that. You missed. Well, at least you've got their attention now. Yeah, there you go. Oh, I've got a dual flag, that's right. That's why I was able to shoot down. Okay. The salamander was sneaking past the dual flag, but the Reapers sure aren't. Yeah, when you've got an Arbalest and a couple missile launchers, you're really relying on the missile launchers here. Look at that, the Omen even took care of the Reaper. Just in case. Yeah, you should be fine. And you guys can take care of that. Let's go cut these guys off before they try to escape. So you guys can afford to get more aggressive here. Oh, there we go. Our built-in ECCM is doing some work. Although it is a little funny that it's called ECCM, which implies, well, the name means electronic countermeasures, so that would imply that that's the main purpose. But the effect that it has against enemy electronic warfare is actually very much secondary to the fact that it boosts your missiles. Let's autopilot this. Yep, there we go. Easy as that. Yeah, I'm not going to recover any of that. I don't need it. All right, we're taking quality over quantity. Because when you start loading up on tons of ships, you got to pay the maintenance and fuel costs for those ships. It can get real expensive. Devil's Playground. Now that's a metal name. I don't think we're going to be making a colony there. Some distance away. Oh. Well. Thanks. Just what I wanted. Well, it doesn't look like we're going to get that. Yeah, we're going to grab this, and then we can loop back around with all of our newfound cash. Oh, that is... Okay, so... Yes, there is ruins here, so this is worth surveying. We're going to spend 50 supplies, but we're going to get back some value. Yeah, we got most of them back, along with some other... That is worth a lot, but I am definitely not going to be able to fit all of that. Yeah, speaking of the quality over quantity approach, I do think I'm a little too conservative in that. I probably should be grabbing like 1 or 2 additional ships on these trips so I can get a little more cargo space. But when I'm not sure, I tend to err on the side of keeping things lean. Not only does it mean you're not paying as much in supplies and in fuel, it also means that your fleet is just faster. There's a lot of hyperspace that you have to travel through. Oh wow, most of those are getting thrown out. There's a lot of hyperspace you have to travel through is the dense clouds. And the thing about the dense clouds is the speed penalty you get scales with how many ships you have. So if I'm running around with just 6 ships, and I've got navigation, then I can basically run through them virtually at full speed. If not, slightly below it. Okay, well, Psi 7 military seems like a good place to pick up ships. Yeah, that looks like a real fleet. It is not a sensor ghost. But it's also not relevant to me. Because it can see me, but it's not doing anything. You look at that, 19. We're at a burn of 19 through the space clouds. Barely even slows us down. And it's on the other side of the sector. We'll worry about that some other time. Yeah, we're done with that. If I can, it might be good to do some... I do want to stick around on this side because I'm going to be looking at ships from these factions. Oh yeah, I believe that's yep. The Hivers are invading this system as I'm coming here to purchase things. They're fighting the last line, the 2 of them. Oh yeah, you can see that, the one with the star, the flagship there. That's a unique ship. I played around with it once. It's very cool. It's basically a giant mech, and it has some very unique mechanics to it. It did survive by the looks of it, but most of the last line got decimated there. Oh boy. Even the mod factions with their best fleets are struggling. Nothing crazy. Alright. I'm just going to sell you... Okay, no. Sell you this and this. Okay. Yeah, that's pretty cheap. I can afford those. Might as well get them out of the way. How much do you guys pay for AI cores? 300% reputation, 100% bounty. So if I want to grind rep with you guys, then that would be the way to do it. I'd like to turn in AI cores. Never mind, I don't actually have any. But I do. But actually I don't. Now you see, officer... No, I'm not wasting your time. I'm just... But I really, really don't actually have any. Bye. What kind of ships you guys got? Let's see. The Rime Recon Cruiser. And then the Rime F? Rime D versus Rime F. One's a Recon Cruiser, what's a freighter. Not exactly sure what the difference is there, but I assume that it's kind of self-explanatory. Ah, the Versant. That thing's pretty cool. It's always overfluxed because of its built-in weapons. And not even overfluxed by a little bit, but overfluxed by a lot. But it is really cool, and its system transforming between speed mode and combat mode is pretty cool. I do like it. But I've already got a number of frigates. So instead, well, I don't want to pick up cruisers that are going to slow me down. You got any Burn 9? Yeah, there's a Burn 9 cruiser. Rime P. Fatlon Duquette. Rime P. It's got the plasma burn and ground support package. I think this is the thing we killed earlier. This is a combat carrier. Well, let's see. Emergency refit. Half the refit time of carried fighter wings, but doubles the replacement rate gauge consumption. Interesting. Oh, there's another Versant on the open market. It's even clean. Well, I guess I might pick up one of those carriers if you've got some good fighter selection. Strifes. Valiants. The Valiants... I'm not sure if they're all that good, but they are really cool. Or no, it's the... I'm thinking of the Zephyrs, aren't I? No, this is the one that turns into a beam. It fires a big laser. Yeah, I think it's the Valiants, right? Yeah, primary role commando. Okay, I recognize these. Yeah, they transform between being mechs and being fighters. I think I'm going to pick them up just because they're cool. Let's go with that. Let's see, do you have Wanzer Gantry? No. That does make them worse. Do you have Wanzer Gantry? Yes. You are going to slow down the fleet a little bit, though. But, rule of cool, so we're going to go with it. Going to need more crew for this. You know what? Well, let's max out on crew so that we can actually recover ships if we need to. It's not like... The crew aren't that expensive. Okay. And I believe this increases... Yeah, there used to be a much more complicated effect where it would reduce the replacement time but increase some other factor of specifically Wanzers. They decided to scrap all of that and just make it one additional craft per wing. A much simpler effect. Ah, yes, these things. It's also got a bunch of medium hybrid turrets. Wouldn't be a mod faction without hybrid weapons everywhere. Those are just the rules. Since it's right on the nose, I don't really think I want... You know, like, in theory, I could put like a Reaper here, but I don't think I really want that. Let's see, standoff support. So I'm going to assume that this would work here. Whereas this is... It says anti-armor. Tracking, none. Yeah, that's not going to go in a side slot. And as far as medium options go, well, I could put Gorgons. I do already have those. Honestly, one of the missiles that I've used the least, so not sure the best way to actually play with them. But the green does look nice on the red. I think that they actually match decently well. I think that there's a little bit annoying sometimes when you've got red weapons on red hull because they don't stand out at all. So it can be a bit hard to see all of them. Yeah, and you've got the micro missiles. Kind of the gimmick of this faction is using not only the Wanzers, but spamming micro missiles to overwhelm enemy point defense. Let's see. Probably want... I mean, with the two hybrids, this could easily be like a hypervelocity driver or an ion beam or something. Don't really have access to any of that right now, so I think we're going to go with some point defense. Actually, you know what? Let's go with these Raptor point defense systems. Yeah, let's use the factional one. These slots back here... Yeah, let's try to pick out stuff that's gonna... Yeah, there we go. And this slot... Let's put a single light needler. That's a good idea. Okay, we are going to want a targeting unit here, and then we're pretty running dry on ordnance points. So yeah, those missiles are not going to last very long, but we do have a guy. In fact, let's put this guy in this thing, because that's missile specialization. Yeah, that's going to make that work better, and then we don't have to worry too much about dissipation. We can get more capacity. All right, I like that. Put you up here, and then you can get this, because you have a shield. Field modulation, that's pretty good. Alright, let's have a little test drive. Let's see what it looks like. Bring on the Eagle. If you can't kill a bird of prey, then you'd better stay away. Oh, it has plasma burn. That's definitely battle carrier, huh? See, look, they turn into little fighters, and then they get close to the enemy, and then they turn back into mechs and shoot a bunch of missiles and lasers. Yeah, I think we're doing pretty good. I mean, look at that. Actually doing some pretty respectable hull damage. Which I guess I should expect when I'm paying 22 ordnance points for these things. And then the Wanzer gantry specifically boosts the number of Wanzers per wing. Yeah, I think that's pretty good. If you don't know, if you're struggling to make fighters work in vanilla, then just don't play vanilla. Play with mods, because mods really like fighters. It says one additional strike craft, and I see 2 here, but how many? Okay, yeah, it's a total of 6. I didn't really count the first time because I was too busy being in awe of their performance. Yeah, very cool. Got some PD to keep this thing safe. We've got Gorgons, and while we can't afford missile racks, we can't afford missile spec. Does this count as an energy weapon? No, this is ballistic. Yeah, I don't think this has... Yeah, this is all ballistic, so energy weapon mastery is not doing a whole lot here. I could retrain you. In fact, I might want to, just to make your personality aggressive. This is something that a lot of... If your carrier does not have bombers, and it only has, like, fighters and interceptors, then the problem you run into is that steady and cautious personalities will often send them to escort friendly ships. And this is a big waste of time. If I wanted fighters escorting my other ships, I would give them converted hangars. A lot of the time they just send them to escort your friendly ship, and they hang out around it, even when it disengages from combat, and they just continue hanging around it, doing nothing. As opposed to aggressive officers who exclusively use them on attack runs. They're actually getting stuff done. So for that reason, I might want to retrain you to be aggressive, and at the same time I can move this elite bonus to... Yeah, probably the missile specialization. That's the most straightforward, isn't it? More missile damage, more rate of fire. And I get 100% bonus XP. So it's not like it's going to take too long to get that story point back. Ching. Yeah, Spingus, you never let us down. Oh yeah, you are... Well, I don't have anything in mind right now, so for now you can keep your name. But just you wait. I will be doing something with that. I just need to figure out what it is. Okay. That used up all my money. But I think it was worth it. The performance against the Eagle was pretty inspiring. I imagine these things will tear through frigates pretty easily. And that's what I like to see. We are going to need some fuel now. And we're going to need some missions. Do you guys have any officers? No. You get a mercenary officer. Okay. So let's start with fuel. Extreme. Yeah, so not going to bother trying to fix things by buying stuff over the open market. It's a little late for that. And that ship has sailed. Well, it hasn't sailed. It's still in dock, but that's kind of the problem. Yeah, you with the Vulcan on your nose. We need to change that. Especially since we've got a dual flak at the front. That's not really necessary. But this is very necessary. Alright, that looks good to me. So yeah, the machine guns... actually... I think I would rather... Oh, well, I do have a dual flak, so do I really need better point defense? Like, the dual flak and these two have pretty good coverage. I think the fact that it's a machine gun is probably fine. If anything, I might want, like, more hull mods. Like insulated engine assembly. That would have been nice. Or resistant flux conduits. That one's pretty good. Drop that. Drop that. Grab flux conduits. It protects us from EMP, including all of those salamanders, which shouldn't be hitting us anyways. But, you know, it's better safe than sorry. And if our opponents throw ion beams and ion pulsers at us, we've got weapon mounts and resistant flux conduits to reduce the damage by 75%. And then we can also vent faster, and active venting is very powerful in player hands. Yeah, I like that. Let's get on with it. I just need to find a good mission. Or any mission, really. Alright, that's a... Oh, I've already got this one. Right. What about this? That's withdrawn, that's withdrawn. Okay. Has anybody got anything? Oh, there's a lot of path harassing this place. That's not really my problem. It's a pretty weak-looking bounty, but maybe I'll come back to it. That one's a little far and a little not paying enough. Try paying a little more, and then I'll consider it. 320,000. Yeah, the bases that Pathers build tend to be a lot stronger than the bases that pirates build. So the payout is pretty cool, but you better believe that's a star fortress. And the hivers are killing us right now. That's very cool. Very cool hivers. You know, good for you. Glad to see that you're moving up in the world. I guess moving down in the sector. Yeah, we just did that. So, yeah, I guess we've got this as our next thing, and hopefully we can get some transmissions as we get close to the sector. And if not, we'll come back down and visit... We'll visit Iron Shell and see what they've got in store. I like that plan. Toxic World, Yellow Primary Star. Okay, so there's two options here. And we're just going to look for a Toxic World. Maybe even visit the Black Hole. You know, just for a little sightseeing. Yeah, they were tracking me. But if I just jump out right next to them before they decide to do anything, then I'm not going to get searched. It's a brilliant plan, if I do say so myself. Oh, hey, you're... What? That's like 8 of the same ship. Hunter Missile Destroyer with Missile Autoforge. 2 medium missiles. Yeah, you better believe that's close to 200,000. I think, despite all the point defense that my ships have, we would eat the dirt if we tried to take this on. If I had to guess, that's a lot of missiles. It's in another yellow star, so it might even be in the same system. Baron Bombarded, so we're just going to avoid the Baron Bombarded worlds. And we'll tag that just so we remember. Toxic world, but avoid Baron Bombarded. We'll zoom through here. Invasion force arrived in system. Wait, don't they already have Kazaron? I thought they... Oh no, VIC... The Vic are trying to take Kazaron back from the bugs, of course. I mean, it would be the mod factions that try to push back against the invasion. How are we looking? Looking good. Okay. Let's let the intel flow in. It didn't... Is it going to tell me what kinds of planets there are? I'm waiting. Yellow primary star, yellow primary star. So I'm guessing... No, it's... Oh, I've already been here, apparently. Yeah, I've explored that one. Huh. Didn't realize that. Guess I should have checked that first. This does seem to have... It's going to have some pretty sparse ruins, but it's something. Oh, yeah, and I left this because Prometheus. I'm not going to scrap that. I'm going to come back and get it later. Yeah, that's worth it. Let's do it. Some basic ruins. Yeah, it's going to get back a lot less supplies than what we spent, but it's fine. Our supply count is doing fine. There's also a debris field. So probably get more over here. Targeting Knights of Lud and the Ludic Church. Okay. A little over the top. Drop off. Nope. A little under the top. I can actually grab some metal. But I'm not going to do that. I don't want to run around with 2 units of metal. I mean, if a patrol stops me and asks me what's in my storage, that's probably the most suspicious part. Not the AI cores, but they're looking at you like, okay, hold on. How do you only have 2 units of metal? And exactly 2? What exactly are you getting up to out there in deep space, Captain? I can think of only one good reason for a man to walk around carrying 2 units of metal. And it ain't pretty, let me tell you that. Well, my bounty is chasing something. And if I had to guess, this is the Baron Bombarded one that I'm trying to avoid. So please don't go up there. That would be unfortunate. Yeah, please. Oh, it's chasing a little remnant fragment. That's cute. And somehow it got away. It's a single glimmer, guys. Are you this bad at your job? Yes. Oh, come on. Come on. There we go. Yeah, I think now that we've got this carrier, we're not exactly getting any bonus XP from these fights. But we're going to deploy it anyways. From 26, I can afford that many supplies. I want to just see it in action. Engage the enemy. Okay, so that point defense does... Those things on the front do actually have pretty good range. That's nice. Huh. Alright. Well, now it's sending them after the... Yeah, fighters are a pretty good answer to phase ships. Like, phase ships are really difficult to deal with for bombers, because the bombers are going to launch their payload and then it's just going to dodge through it, but fighters can stick to it and just continually apply pressure, and there's not much they can do about it. Though, maybe not the best time to use antimatter blasters. Yeah, kill it with the point defense guns. Yeah, let's go. Yeah, once again, I think this is a pirate mule with frontal shield conversion. It's pretty rare. Or maybe they added a loadout that does that. And that's why I'm seeing it now. It's got to be relatively new, though, because that was definitely not a thing once upon a time. And we'll launch you. Yeah, they're not going to drop too much of value. Drop that off. And level up. Hello. Is that a Legion 14 that I spot? It is. That's so perfect. I think it's going to slow me down extremely unless I have augmented drive field. I do have augmented drive field, so I can get back to the core worlds and equip this. And the Legion won't be an issue. Nice. Character. What do I want next? Gunnery implants would work on my current ship, and that would open the way for some pretty good skills. Yeah, flux regulation is always really good. Or I could get crew training right now. Or I could get Wolfpack Tactics right now. I don't want to get crew training right this second because my supplies are a little low and I'm about to recover a Legion, so spending more supplies to get more combat readiness at this exact second is not ideal. But what I can do is I can just wait till I get back to spend that skill point. Yeah, don't have that. Don't have the anything to actually... That's fine. We'll just mothball. Just easy. Let's grab a few more of those. We'll be on our way back to the core worlds. But, did we pick up any decent transmissions for missions? So we're going to avoid you. We got this. I don't think I need you to be tagged as important. Although Alpha Site... I do want to go there eventually, so that's going to stay there. Oh, there. That is right next to us, yeah? Yeah, so that's going to be a little bit faster. I guess I'll head over to Zagon. Zagon these nuts. Your fleet is over crew capacity. Really? Oh, I guess we're 1 over crew capacity. And extra 0.1 supplies. I should probably just ice that guy to save a few supply. Like 1 supply. With this trip. But I'm not that cruel. Not yet, anyways. We'll get there. You know, as the war drags on, and the bugs start to threaten the core worlds even more, maybe I will get that cruel. What the heck is that thing? It's moving, and it's not moving. Alright, well, I'm going to ignore it. My curiosity runs out when my supplies run out, my friend. I'm not going to chase you around. Alright, now we've got the missions. So I'm going to ignore the system bounties. This is kind of in the right area. Alright, this is looking a little more my speed. 50,000, 70,000, and it's for Domain Era Probe. It's kind of on the opposite side of where I want to be. I do want to be over here. Oh, but then again, I've already got a Diablo Avionics ship. I can go over here and maybe visit the Zon Empire, pick up some of their stuff. It's not a bad idea. I'll tag that just in case I end up over there. Yes. A little more independent rep certainly wouldn't hurt. Oh, hey, look. About the same payout in the direction of the bounty. Well, the same side of the sector. It's not exactly close. I forgot to turn that on. It's a good thing no patrols noticed me. Alright, you guys can have all... I keep doing that. It should just control click instead of alt clicking. Because I'm going to keep making that same mistake by accident. Now I'm going to grab crew training. And now I'm going to pay those. I can't afford to pay those. Let alone actually turn this thing back on. But at the very least, I should give it a dry field. It's not slowing me down. +2. Perfect. In fact, this thing is now faster than this thing. Ooh, I've only got one large. This feels really sad putting anything else in this slot. I guess I'll go with Sabos. What have you got for fighters? Isn't this... Yeah, that's biotech. We're not really supposed to have anything from the Hivers. I believe I turned those off in the settings, but it doesn't seem to work for whatever reason. I'm just going to pretend they're not there. Okay, so Talons are definitely an efficient option. 2 broadswords is... I'd like to have more. Why is there remnant fighters? Did I... Yeah, this must be in... Yeah, this is my cargo hold, so I must have killed them at some point. Alright, speaking of, I can sell the biotech so that I don't have the option to use it. Yeah, there we go. Sell that. And sell that. How fast is this avalanche? Maximum engagement range, top speed 160. I don't think there's anything else that's going to match that speed. And there's only one longbow? Why? Why couldn't there be like 2? I guess I could go double broadsword and a Khopesh and a longbow. Piranha 14. I mean, this thing is pretty slow. Even if it's only 8 ordnance point and it turns into a Reaper. It's pretty slow. I think I'll pass. I guess I could try going top speed... Wait a minute. Yeah, top speed 315. Okay. Yeah, we'll try that. Let's undo that. Because normally the problem with Thunders is that they're much faster and have longer engagement range than everything else. And so you can't mix them with other types of fighters. But in this case, the 14 variant that we've got here actually matches up nicely with Talons. And while Talons are cheap, they're surprisingly effective. Do not sleep on Talons, or Talons will sleep on you. Or you'll be sleeping with the fishes, because the Talons will put you under this sea of stars. This metaphor is getting a little weird. I don't really like heavy autocannons in turret slots, but it is better than nothing. The Arbalest wouldn't... A single Arbalest was not going to do much better. And this thing is... this is quite the hack job of a carrier. I do have 2 railguns. Is there... No, there's not anything more. This is the... Of course not. This is the Persing League. Good weapons? What a joke. That's a comedy. In fact, I think I saw a play the other day named Good Weapons. It was really funny. I believe there's one planet in the Persing League where they select their leadership. It's like a monarchy, but the monarch is elected based off of how they perform on, like, not social media, but it's they do like dramas. They do like plays and things. Something along those lines. And whoever wins the hearts of the people becomes king. Some very interesting lore. I don't have ECCM, do I? Well, at least Hurricanes aren't terrible without it. They used to pretty much need ECCM, but now they can function without it. Actually, I don't think I need that much flux dissipation. At least, not with this loadout. What about heavy armor? Yeah, we can grab that. Okay, so we've got that. 28 left. Heavy armor, armored weapon mounts, and then get some flux caps. Yeah, that'll do the job. For now. But I am going to need some more supplies. Yeah, now that I've got a carrier capital, I'm going to need to run around with a few more supplies. I also need more crew. Lovely. Alright, what can you do? I was just thinking missile specialization would be pretty good. And also it's got impact mitigation. Buddy, have I got a job for you? It's like you were made for this. Wow. Perfect timing. Although I've got to like double my crew count to fit this thing. And also on top of that, I should run a little bit more because those Talons eat through crew. That should do it. Still going to need more supplies. And now we're broke. Excellent. But it's all coming together. How far can we travel? Not very far. Maybe I want to put efficiency overall on this thing. Yeah, grabbing a carrier or a capital. Well, carriers in the early game can be pretty effective. Largely because as you get into later game, officers start having more combat skills. And these are going to boost the direct combat ships, but not the carriers. So in the early game, where in the late game that sort of tilts the playing field in favor of direct combat ships. In the early game, it's a little more level. But a capital is going to be a bit expensive to run, and there's not exactly a ton of things. Well, I guess I can just start fighting more expensive stuff. Fighting harder bounties. I mean, I've got a decent frigate set up to support this thing, so it's not exactly going to get flanked and torn apart. And then a couple of cruisers to do cruising. I just need more fuel, which I can't afford. Oh yeah, this thing is going to be easy, though. Actually, I should look at if there's any more difficult bounties. Well, it's kind of in the same direction, so I might as well tag that. Am I going to be able to do this? No. A really good Legion with some solid support could do that. But mine has a Sabo in a large slot. Don't really qualify. I might want to start selling some of these weapons. Just so that I can afford more fuel here. Because I'm going to need that fuel. I don't really want to buy it anywhere else. Well, hold on. Is there any gates? Let's look at the gates first. Well, I mean, there's a gate here. I can go there. I think really first I want to go to Tritech, hand over the AI cores, make some cash, and then buy some fuel from them. I don't think Tritech really has any systems with gates. There might be one. No, not that one. Is it Magek? It's Magek. Heckin' Magekin. Alright, we jump this. Yeah, scan me. Oh, you didn't find anything. Crazy. Who could have seen this coming? You know, it's funny that I turned on my transponder just before getting to the planet. But, even with all that black market trading, they still counted it as a positive, because I did a little open market trading. So maybe doing it with the transponder wasn't so bad. It's not like they were going to find anything. The risk is basically 0%. I made that number up. It's not 0%. But a lot of the time it can feel like 0% when you've only got a couple AI cores. They're just really bad at finding those suckers. Alright, let's scan that sucker. Yeah, we're We're in the red. Lovely. Let's just get over here and make some cash. Howdy. I've got the goods. Yeah, there we go. 120,000. Okay. You got any officers? No. Let's load up on fuel off the black market. Don't think I really need any of this stuff. Well, that is actually a large missile. And the range isn't exactly ideal, because it's not going to match up. But it's an improvement. And locusts are pretty solid. I doubt you guys have any superior, yeah, medium ballistics are not exactly Tritachion's strong suit. Let's get out of here. Let's take that gate. That should make things easier. It's on the other side of the system, so it's actually going to be faster to jump. Although it is going to burn a little fuel, but I am more concerned about speed here. I get bored easily. I get snored easily. And most importantly, our fleet will be ignored easily. At least I hope the bugs ignore us, because we definitely can't do anything about that right now. Yeah, no, we're not salvaging that right now. Okay, we're in range to do this. What have we got here? Yeah, it's on the other side. Might end up skipping that one. Barren World, giant primary star. Well, lucky me, the giant one is the one that's really close. Barren World, okay. Alright, time to do the super advanced technique that the eggheads at the Academy say that you would need to be an AI core to perform. And we're just going to do that to casually shave off a few days from our travel time. Isn't the lore neat? Although, some people claim that it's actually just the ivory tower at the Academy that doesn't realize this is an old smuggler's trick that lots of people use. I have not looked into the lore enough to actually know what's correct. Really, another one? Oh, thanks, game. You shouldn't have. I mean, really, I don't want it. One is already too much. Ooh, I want to do this. I want to do this. Those are definitely not... Yeah, that is... Hi. I don't know what... Void creature, get over here. Yeah, I mean, I should deploy this. It's both cheaper and it gets me directly into the action. As much as I want to see the fighters get down to business. Okay, so they're pretty small. Nothing too scary. Okay, that is... That sure is something. Oh, well, that's not good. I really don't want you killing my frigates. And I really don't like how you're beside me and I can't really do anything about it. Do a little active venting here. Now, if I remember correctly, I think these guys regenerate hull sometimes, so we should probably focus fire on this one. Okay, so that's... Wow, they don't even explode. They just glow red and scream. Cool. Now this is almost certainly not worth the amount of supplies I'm spending to do this combat. But they definitely look weird. Yeah, I think the fighters are the I should have gone with the carrier. That was this is looking pretty good here. Yeah, and now it's got a D-mod. Void Chitin. 400 per unit is pretty good. It's just that there's only 7. Uh-huh. Visibly enthusiastic. Unknown origin. Possible bioengineering. Oh. Oh, and we get the husk, too. Oh, you shouldn't have. Thank you. I really need everything I can get right now. You are in this system, yes? Yes, you are in this system, just not here. Maybe I should just scrap that Legion. It's not like I'm going to need to. Oh, so they think they can take me. There's no bonus XP. Honestly, I don't even think I need to deploy the Legion to take on... Like they've got a couple real combat ships, but for the most part... yeah, the cost... And this is kind of the problem. This is a big part of the problem with trying to grab capitals early on. Expensive to lug around. Massively draining my fuel. Not really contributing much. I probably should have just left this at a station somewhere. But I'm going to keep dragging it around because I'm stubborn. You're a little low, my friend. Yeah, let's go with that. It's also nerfing like I would normally be getting bonus XP from this fight, but just the fact that I have the Legion means that I don't. So as a general rule, I would really not recommend picking up capital ships this early. You should really just note them down and then pick them up when your fleet can actually support a capital ship. This is the nice thing about having missiles that fire straight forward, so I can independently aim the Omni Shield without having to worry about messing up the aim of my missiles. Yeah, the Autolance is not going to do much while my armor is up. Although those breach missiles might do something about that. Yeah, the Omen is harassing the carrier, which is exactly what you want it to be doing. It's almost like it knows. It doesn't know, but it's almost like it does. Yeah. You are going to be annoying because you're going to activate, yep, Damper Field. That's a lot of missiles, and I have to deal with this dinky little Vanguard really being a pain. You can get off me. You can stop existing. Go away. Well, I don't exactly want to block these with my shield right now, so I'm just gonna not do that. Yeah, the carrier can deal with the Vanguard. I'm sure it'll be fine. Yeah, he's firing all of his Hurricanes at the carrier instead of me, which means this is a perfect opportunity. Although the carrier really should be defending itself with its fighters, it's sending them over here instead. Classic carrier move. Dying so that you can kill something else that's not even attacking you. Let's give you a little strike order so you, hopefully when your fighters respawn, you use them correctly. At least correctly in this context. Okay. Scratch one. What we got? Oh, the Omen's still going. Still chipping away at him. Yes. Talons are surprisingly good at killing frigates, but when you bring in Omen, that equation gets reversed. Although there are some other good frigate options. Centurion's a pretty decent choice. Damper Field can block a lot of the damage from fighters, and I like to give it swarm of missiles, mostly to kill other frigates, but they also happen to be pretty decent at killing fighters that are attacking. And it's got pretty good armor for a frigate, which is the main reason that fighters are so good against them, is because fighters have very light weapons. Frigates are like the one class of ship that has light enough. Well, frigates and the Sunder are the ships that have armor light enough that they can really do something about it. I think that does earn us a decent amount of material. Do I want to salvage this? I think so. I think I'm going to do that now. 25 a day. So we're going to stop repairs except for you. Yeah, I'm going to scrap this. 33. Worth it. If I really need more, I'll just talk to the historian. Alright. Spent 50 and we got, well, we got the Storm Needler blueprint. And a lot of goods. They are worth more, so there is that going for them. Yeah, you can't do that just yet. So we leave, pause, go to inventory. I'll learn it. All right. How many supplies have I got? A little over 100. So I could run back to the core worlds. I could go out here and hope to find enough stuff to keep my fleet going. But either way, I think we'll be figuring that out next time.